Good morning and welcome from wherever you are. It is always a good time of day to have biscuits and gravy. So today I'm bringing back an old video that I have recorded on here before because I think this is a recipe everyone needs to have in their cookbook. So stay tuned if you want to learn how to make my favorite biscuits and gravy. So we're gonna start today preheating the oven first. We're gonna go to 450. My recipe says 475, but 450 is better if you're going to make a fluffier, thicker biscuit, which is what I like to do. You're gonna start with some self-rising flour. White lily is absolutely the best, but any self-rising flour will do. And we're going to do 2.5 cups. Next, you'll need 1 stick or half a cup of frozen butter. Having it ice cold is really important for this, and we're actually going to shred it. I use my cheese grater, and this causes it to be in tiny little pieces, makes it mix into the flour really easily, but ice cold butter is the trick. Once you have that all shredded, you're going to use your hands. The heat from your hands is important. I don't know the science behind it, but ice cold butter, use your hands. It's going to create kind of a crumbly texture. It's not going to be like really firm or stiff yet. And then you're going to do 1 cup of buttermilk. You can go ahead and stir this in together. I like to use a rubber spatula and give that about 6 to 10 turns, and then it's going to create this soft, wet mixture. You're not going to want to over mix this in the bowl, and it's going to kind of be a little bit tricky to move this from the bowl to the counter, but just kind of push it away from the sides of the bowl over to the other side of the bowl, and then just plop it onto a floured surface. Getting your hands dirty is 1000% necessary in the making of these biscuits. So don't be afraid of it. Just get right in there and push all of the pieces of dough into your main ball. Push it down, flour it. You're going to try to create this crumbly mess into a more pliable situation. So once you have all of the pieces put together, you've got the edges formed, you're going to fold it over, push it down, make sure that it's ready to roll. Once you have the dough rolled out to about 1 to 1.5 inch thickness, you could be done and just cut the biscuits into their shape at that point, but we want to create layers. So here's where you're going to flour the top of it, fold it over, and then roll it out again. And you're going to do this 4 to 5 times. If you're enjoying this video and want to see more like it, I would love it if you would give this video a like, leave a comment down below. It all really helps YouTube know that this kind of content is important to you and helps me make more. No dough left behind. Push those pieces in there. After about 15 minutes in your oven, they will be perfect. It also depends on how thick you roll your biscuits out. So you might want to start out a little bit less than 15 minutes, check on them, make sure. If you have them thicker, they're going to take longer. So just keep that in mind whenever you set your timer. And if you haven't found out at this point yet, I do not expect perfection out of myself, out of anybody, especially out of biscuits. They're going to taste amazing no matter what their shape. So if you don't have a cookie cutter, you can also just cut them into squares, rectangles, weird little pieces. It doesn't matter. They are going to turn out just as delicious and just as layered and flaky as if you were to have made them perfect circles. Next, we're gonna get started with the hearty sausage gravy, and you can use less meat if you want to, but since this is the only protein that we're having in this meal, I decided to load it up. Making this gravy is gonna go so much more smoothly if you have all of the ingredients and everything you need out and ready to go before you even get started. So you'll need some milk, flour, your sausage, salt and pepper, and a whisk. Here I'm using frozen sausage patties because that's what I have on hand, but you could also use already ground breakfast sausage, and this tool makes it so easy to grind up your meat. Once the sausage is completely cooked through, you'll add 2 tablespoons of flour, stir that in, coat the meat completely with it, and let that flour cook for just about a minute. You're not going to want the flour to be raw. And then you'll go ahead and add the salt and pepper. Here's where you're going to want to start working quickly. Add your 1 cup of milk and stir that in really well with the whisk until all the lumps are gone, and then you can start adding more and more milk to the desired consistency that you have. If you want it to be a thinner gravy, just keep adding more milk, and then if you're at the consistency that you like, just stop, turn off the burner, and you're good to go. I hope this video inspired you today, and of course, until the next video, I'll see you in the comments.